are you today? Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Just starting, so far so good.
Oh my God. Okay. Welcome, everybody to the Commentary Zone Noontime Edition. All right, who do we have in here? Hey, Trey. Okay, so who we doing
Excuse
TLC
me.
Tuesdays? Gesundheit.
Mm-hmm.
Today? Oh
Mm-hmm.
Lord, the mess. So let's just jump right in. Everybody, as you come into the room, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, notification bell, tell a friend. You can also watch the live simulcast on Twitch and Twitter. Oh, and shout out to the replay crew.
As always.
Okay, so 90 Day Fiance first.
Of course.
Who first? Which one of these jackalopes is first?
Let's do Mike and Nally because that was very interesting.
Okay. What was interesting about them, other than the pseudo, Eastern European porno that we saw? But okay.
Right. That was pretty much where I was going. That's where I was going. Like, was it me or did you feel like you were intruding on a very intimate moment?
It was an intimate moment for one of them because one of them looked kind of confused.
I was sitting there like, this is just stroking her arm and rubbing her. I'm like, what is this?
But when she jumped across her on the bed, that was like, wait, what?
So it wasn't just me. I was just like, what is going on here?
Yeah, I think we were privy to what the price of that room at Juliana House was gonna cost.
I mean, I guess so because I was just like, all right, and then she's like, okay, now we're gonna go get mics and look, get your stuff, and you have a room here. I'm like, you just gonna move her in like that?
Doesn't Juliana have a husband?
Right, my point.
It was weird and awkward, mildly inappropriate unless both parties were consenting. I don't know. It
Mhm.
just came across a little odd, and that's the kindest word that I can use. That whole interaction, because the scene started off with her bringing her like some tea and something else, I guess. And I was like, oh, look, Natalie finally found the manservant that she needed to cater to her every woman need for her special diet and all the delusional ideas in her head. But then when she hopped across the bed and the awkward hugging and you can move in here, let's go get your stuff. I was just like, and
Yeah,
yeah.
that was all sorts of just whoa. Can I hug you? Yes. I'm like, oh, it's squeezing.
And then mm,
Yeah. Mm-mm.
that was all different types of shades of uncomfortable.
I, yeah, I almost felt bad for watching, but I couldn't turn away.
Yeah.
And but then when they go, so they get in the car,
Hmm.
and I really expected like that old school "All My Children" back violin music to be playing as they were
Hmm.
in the car, like the dramatic music. They need to go back and get that kind of stuff. That's what that needed. And then is it okay? So the way the ferry works, does the ferry accommodate cars?
Hmm. You can have car ferries. And I looked it up when I was trying to figure out where Squim was and why it took him 3 hours to get to work. I didn't realize Squim was like three something hours away from Seattle.
Right.
And you have to take the car ferry to get from that side to Seattle.
That's why I was wondering, like,
Yeah.
oh, this is kind of cool. And then they
Hmm.
drove, and like, I'm like, okay, now he's like looking all pitiful with her back up next to her. I'm like, okay.
Oh, wait a minute.
And
Wait, wait,
then
wait, wait. When they
what?
were driving, or the scene in the car, right? And you said that you heard the old All My Children music playing in the
Yeah,
background. Did you
to me,
also imagine that Juliana was squeezing Natalie's knee?
yeah.
Okay.
Because I know you remember the old school All My Children when like Erica
Mm-hmm.
and Jackson would have their little
Mm-hmm.
standoff, and you have the little violin.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly how I pictured. Like, you know, how the raw music. So they did that, but then what killed me, like when they got there, right? I'm like, Mike has a nice sized place. I'm like, okay, this is.
Mm-hmm.
I really hadn't noticed it before. I just noticed no fighting. So she goes in, and did you see how she was peeking around the corner? trying to see if he
Who?
was there.
Who? Natalie?
Natalie. Yeah.
She always slithering around like a snake. That's the one thing that I agreed with Trish on. She's a snake. She's a
And she
snake. Why are you just rolling up there and not calling him?
right, because she was trying to go. She was trying to go in and get her stuff without him being there. Because she was just gonna slide on
Mm-hmm.
out, and then he was sitting there just waiting on her. I'm like, oof. Well, you can't get a clean getaway on this one.
I wonder if the producers told him to hurry up. No, you can't hurry up with 3 hours
No,
commute. Yeah, never mind. Oh well. Child, this is just messy. This is just messy. But I hope Mike, okay, I think Mike got half of what he needed to get out in that argument that caused her to run, right?
right.
I hope that now that she's there, I hope he gets the rest out and it's just done.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Just let it go.
And
Don't
notice
say
I just
nothing.
said Mike because Mike is the only person I can understand. Half the time I can't understand what Juliana's saying.
And I
Not
understand
Juliana,
Julie. Oh,
Natalie.
Natalie.
Mm-hmm.
That
I'm
was
not.
just. I was just.
Yeah,
Oof.
yeah. It wasn't much. It was just 2 segments,
Right.
but it was just like, huh? Okay, now we waited
Exactly.
how many episodes? Because this. Oh wait, this
Exactly.
this 90 Day Fiance, Happily Ever After, season 6, episode 14. She's a snake in the grass. Yeah, we waited 14 episodes to get something remotely interesting out of Natalie and Mike.
Remind you, for 13 episodes equals 26 hours. So we waited 26 hours of TV time for this. 26 hours. That's a whole day straight.
Jamal, I really don't like you right now.
I'm just letting
Because
you know.
I'm at an age. I'm at a particular age, as my doctor likes to tell me. Tick tock, tick tock. I
Right?
have no time.
Exactly. Do we want to go into the family podcast? Because that was comedy to me.
Who? Which
The
ones?
the family podcast,
Who there?
Libby.
Oh, Libby.
That family is so. Ooh, those children. I'm sorry. I used to try to see both sides of this situation. Now they're extremely jealous, and it's insane. I'm like, are you joking? And but this gave me more insight to them that y'all really don't do anything outside of quote unquote working for the family business. Because if you were, this what they're doing, this one property, mind you, one property wouldn't
Mhm.
have y'all so bothered.
Well, maybe it would if Charlie hadn't fallen short on the last couple of properties.
But they don't bring that up though.
But I am.
Right, but it's a combination. It's a
But
combination though. It's a combination of Charlie failing and Becky falling short because it's the two go together. He went
yeah.
over budget and she couldn't negotiate. She couldn't
Mm-hmm.
negotiate the price that they needed.
Yeah. And you know what? This whole the two scenes that we had with them just showed me that Chuck, Papa Scammer, has procreated a bunch of baby scammers who have been scamming Papa Scammer and now upset that a international scammer is coming in and scamming Papa Scammer and cutting them out of the scams. It just is ridiculous.
And then they call Libby a scammy. She's been doing this since she was little. She's always. I'm like, who? But you're all the same family though. Like, aren't y'all all scamming together? But are you just mad because now Libby has scamming backup? Is that what it is? And he international, so he can hit the international scamming market? Is that what really going on here? Just
But you
saying.
know what? Have this has popped up in my head. Before this, Becky husband Thomas, right? The man from Denmark that she had a wedding in Denmark with, that I'm sure Papa Scammer paid for, right? He was never really on the show or involved. It seemed like he made his own money. They live in a decent home.
Mm-hmm.
Now how come all of a sudden he's on the show and playing rat fink between Papa Scammer and Baby Scammers? And I thought he was like at least gonna be on the side of his fellow immigrant, but no, he's straddling both sides of the fence. I don't really like Thomas, and I wonder if where his money is coming from and if it's still coming in.
Right. I mean, like the whole family. Let's be honest. The whole family is alleged scammers. Like that's out there. There's like y'all got mugshots. Y'all got they got a whole bunch of stuff. So we'll say alleged because that's what we do. But we're alleging they're scammers based on what we've seen within other outlets and on Google. So maybe Thomas is like, look, this is my wife, this is her family, blah blah blah. But I understand where Andre's coming from. Then I want to go back to the scene at the restaurant. I understand why Andres was concerned. I get it. Libby and Chuck, the food looked good, the wine looked
Mm-hmm.
good, and then,
Mm-hmm.
and I was it was nice to hear him actually say this is not Andre's fault. I'm like this time this season this is not Andre's fault. He's merely retaliating to what they're throwing at him. Like you can't do that. You come, especially you come in my house on my daughter's second birthday and acting a fool and throwing digs at me.
And cake,
No,
good cake that we could be eating.
right. And I'm going to say this, and this may be in the hard for your opinion. I'm going to need these reality TV shows to stop showing women hitting men because we saw it with the cake last episode, and then we saw Yara slap Joby. And I'm saying that because if it were a man slapping a woman, y'all would not air this. And if you did air it, the man would get so much backlash. He would be an abuser,
Charges. Pressing
charges,
charges.
a
Yeah.
man should never hit a woman. But no one's talking about how one of the sisters, they're in the script and interchangeable to me. Becky or Jen hit him in the face with cake. That's assault. I called the police on you and had you up on charges. And then y'all are slapping Joby, like I just mentioned. So I'm going to need y'all not to make it like this is okay.
Mm-hmm. And Trey brings up a good point. I don't know why, but I actually like the idea of a friendly competition, see who can successfully flip a
I
house
do like
first.
that. I like that.
I want Jen and Becky and Thomas, it seems, is being roped into this because he's probably the money. To go out and do what their dad does and see how hard it is to be finagling these houses and trying to flip them when your construction crew is Charlie, who's unreliable and don't come in on time.
Or on budget.
I want
But here,
y'all to see how hard it is that y'all dad has had for floating all of y'all asses all these years and giving all of y'all a job, because most of us don't have a dad or a mom where we can go and automatically get a job at their company. We got to go out and work for a big organization. We got to go and interview. We got to have a resume. We got to go and look decent. We got to compete for one position. And y'all have been grandfathered into everything.
but you know they didn't mention about bringing Charlie in. They just said,
Who else is going to do the repairs?
but Jen just said me and Becky. That's all she said, and then they wrote in Thomas. They said number Charlie. I'm like, okay, but who's going to be the project manager? Who's going to be the one actually there, either
Mm-hmm.
doing the work or supervising the work? That's gonna be. I'm interested to see what happens with that. I'm,
Because I'm assuming that they're going to go and ask Charlie, because at least Chuck got Andre, who could, I don't know, use a hammer.
he could break some stuff now.
He could break it.
He could do
Yes.
demolition. He could do demolition and then hire a company to do the actual building.
I don't know. It's just going to be hard on both sides. It's
Yes.
just stupid. But I want Jen and Becky and Thomas now to learn a valuable lesson. It's
Right.
hard to scam people out here on these streets, even
Yes.
in Florida.
Alleged scamming.
Okay, who next?
Ronald and Tiffany.
Wait, hold
So,
on.
go ahead.
Okay, yeah. No, I had to find them. All right.
No worries. These two going to his uncle's um office for therapy. I'm like, okay, this is cool. And the uncle was very fair.
Mm-hmm.
And Tiffany really wasn't listening to what he was saying. She took it as like he was vindicating her. Like, well, no, Tiffany, that's not what was said. Now I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
go back to the things that she was saying. Like when she said that he should be like basically he should be thanking God that came into his life. I'm like, excuse me, what?
Well, what did she bring?
Yeah, I was like,
Other
have
than
you
a
lost?
baby.
I'm like, have you lost your mind? She thought because when he came to me, he was knee deep in his gambling addiction and this and that. I'm like, oh, so you legit think you're better than him? Like legit, like saying it flat out now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, no,
I don't know. When she said that, I was like, when he came into your life, he was this, this, and this. Like red flags wouldn't have had a chance to pop up in the back of my head before I was doing the 100-meter dash at the Olympics and winning by far. Honestly, it's your fault with that argument.
I was just like, you
Was
did
it?
not.
Is it?
I was no, I was sitting there like, are you nuts? Like, did you really just say that? Did you? To me, what you just said, I was a complete idiot and ignored everything. I was desperate for a man. Sorry, that's just how it came across. And Tiffany's, I'm not sorry for saying it. That's the way it came across, and it is what it is at this point because you don't do that. You don't say things of that nature if you really love somebody.
Mm-hmm. And I loved Ronald. Ronald thought, okay, I'm gonna take this to my uncle, Uncle Paul, I think it was, who's a pastor and some sort of therapist or whatever, counselor.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, my uncle gonna be on my side. This is his internal thought process to me. My uncle gonna be on my side because that's my uncle, and he's a man. He a man. He know how men are. And then, like, the uncle he was there until the uncle said, you have to do your part. You have to be head of household. Both of you need to stop criticizing each other. Like, Ronald stopped paying attention
Right.
at the first part. You
He
have to
really
do
did that.
your part. And then he talking about poopy diapers. Get off of the poopy diapers.
Right.
Get off of this, like, patriarchal sort of thinking. And you thinking like this, but yet you still not being a breadwinner because you ain't really working and you ain't supporting your family. So how you expect to be respected as a breadwinner and head of household? Like, he makes no sense to me.
No, they both make no sense to me at this point because the problem is both of them think they elevate the other. And y'all both have it and you both aren't even at ground level. That's the problem. They really feel they're bringing so much to the table that they're elevating the other person. Like, oh my god, like you should be happy I came into your life. Um, like I'm helping you out. It's just weird. Their
Mm-hmm.
perceptions of themselves are very like out of touch, very
Yeah.
out of touch. And she
Mm-hmm.
kept complaining that I have to do everything by myself. He doesn't help this, and that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he she was right that he really doesn't help her. Like she's in the
Mm-hmm.
United States, he's in South Africa. He's not making any money. Granted,
Mm-hmm.
but when he told her that, he's like, wait a minute, how are you by yourself and your family's always around helping you? I'm like, well, true. She's like, oh, just because my mom helps me out like once or twice. He's all, no, they're always there helping you. So how are you doing it all by yourself? I'm like,
But that's
well,
when she was living with the mama, wasn't it? But now she's moved out. Remember at
but
the
her mom's
beginning of the
still,
season?
but she's already at her mom's.
No, but he's saying that your mom's is always around. I can't give him 100% on that. I can give him 50%,
Right.
but at least she made the effort to get up on her
Mm-hmm.
own and get out and get her own place
She did.
with 2 children. She's still trying to hustle, do her little makeup influencer thing or whatever. She's
Mm-hmm.
trying. Not, it's a hard situation,
It is.
but she's trying. She realized that she could not continue to be at her mom's house, so she took her initiative and she went out and she got a place of her home. Yes, is her mom helping her? Yes, of course, her mom is going to help her,
Yes.
just
I
like
think
how
what he's
your
saying is
mom helps you when they're in South Africa. That's
I
what
think what he's
moms
trying to say
do.
is, I think what he's
Hmm.
trying to say is like, don't paint this like you're completely 100% alone, like you out here working 4 jobs, taking care of these 2 kids by yourself. I think that's what he's trying to tell her. Like, it's like you're completely like without support,
Right, but the
but
main source of support she
should
is
should
without.
be your spouse.
Yeah. The
No,
spouse is
I
supposed to be doing this because if the spouse was financially supporting, whether he was in another country or 5 inches away from you, if the spouse was supporting her, she wouldn't have to always rely on her mother. She could put the baby in daycare if it was a normal situation, you
mhm.
know. The boy would be at school and go into aftercare afterwards. All of that is funded by a responsible parent.
But he wasn't responsible from the beginning. So when she
Mm-hmm.
complains, I'm like, well, your complaints are valid, but you did this to yourself. So I can't really have sympathy. I can have understanding, but
Uh-huh.
I can't have sympathy. I can't sympathize with someone who knowingly put themselves in this situation. I,
Exactly, because as much as we blame Ronald, I blame her for getting involved with someone who has so many issues and baggage, and then having unprotected sex and bringing another person into the world that is not being supported by their parent, their father.
exactly.
I have to blame her too, as much as I blame
Hmm.
Ronald.
Exactly. Most definitely.
Because I could understand that if you are on the injection or on the pill plus a condom broke, because better believe a condom would have been on after he just came out of rehab. I don't care what it was rehab for. How did you get pregnant so soon? Raw dogging? I don't
Oof.
care. The only time I would give you credit is if every single form of birth control, multi-layer birth control you was using
Hmm.
failed. And I was like, damn, he got some strong sperm. It broke through
Exactly.
everything. Then I would say, girl, that ain't your fault. Medicine let you down.
Hmm.
Yeah, they were a mess. Julie and Brandon, can we get them out the way?
Yeah. She don't like his friends, particularly
Mhm.
Melanie and her boyfriend, but she loves AJ because that's like his best friend. That's how they met.
Yeah, he's the one who got them together, right?
Right.
But even AJ has something not so good to say during this whole
He's.
thing when she brought up the baby talk.
I was with Brandon on this one, and I'm rarely with Brandon on anything. I
Hmm.
was completely in line with him.
Hmm.
I feel that y'all should enjoy marriage for at least a good couple of years so y'all can get out your system, travel, do what you want to do. Because when you have kids, it is about that child or those children.
Oh, you were thinking that? I was thinking try to stay married for a little while without a kid because you're gonna get divorced.
No, you stay enjoy being married. Enjoy being married. Like, and then once you're like 30, 31, then you want to kind of maybe start having children because like you've gotten the single married couple life out of your system and now you're ready. I just think with them, it enjoy being married. Just like in comparison with Yaron and Jovi,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they had too many life changes at one time.
Mm-hmm.
And look what's happening to them.
My thing is, right, Julia just got rid of taking care of farm animals. What she want to take care of baby for? Just saying.
Right.
They're both helpless and are totally dependent upon you.
Mhm.
Does she think it's a doll baby that you could put to the side for 2 weeks and then come back to it when you remember it?
Yeah. Mm-mm. I'm with Brandon on this one. 100%
Mm-hmm.
team Brandon on this one because I'm not ready to have children and I'm firm on that. And that's a problem when people, in my personal opinion, there are two major issues that have to be sorted out before you get married. Children and finances. Those are the two big ones and those are like the two to me those are like the two main reasons people get divorced. You
I
know,
also don't think that was the right time to bring up a conversation like that.
no.
Like, focus on the Doritos and the wine.
Yeah.
Saying, who next? We
Kalani and
got
Swelu or
Kalani. Well, Kalani and Asuelu was a lot.
So
Let's
you want
hold
to do
them
Angela
back.
Michael? You want to do Angela and Michael?
So
Because
we
that
got
doesn't have.
Yari and Yari, Yara and Jovi. Jesus.
Let's do Angela and Michael because there was nothing there.
Angela Michael. Okay. He went to whack off
Right.
and Angela went with him on the phone and it seemed like she was making fun of him.
She was, and then she got jealous because she said that
Yeah.
he made more noise by himself than he did with her. I'm like,
Well,
well, I mean, he knows
maybe
what he likes, so
yeah, his finally hit the right spots and
yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna just leave that alone.
Right.
Okay, but wait a minute. Did Angela try to give buy Skylar an outfit in exchange for an egg?
That's the way it came. That's the way it came across, but then she backpedaled. She's
Okay.
I just want you to go with me to the. No, I'm gonna buy you the outfit for going with me to the clinic. And she's like, oh, okay.
Angela, you know you're wrong. But wait, is Angela gonna want to actually tote a baby now that she's had the whole body makeover thing?
No, what she said was she wants to go to the clinic so that she can hear about all the reasons that this
Not
won't
to.
work. Right.
Wait. So she's flipped the script a little bit from when they were in Nigeria when she went to that fertility clinic. It was to see if
Right.
that one last egg was viable.
Right.
Child dust. Okay, who anything else with them?
No, there was nothing.
Okay,
Zero.
so Yara and Jovi?
Yes.
Child. Gwen
That was
is
a mess.
team Yara.
She, but she was right though.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, and I like Yara saying, she's like, no, like, I've always been a grandma at heart. It was so funny when she said that. She
Mhm.
was, she was the one that was ready for marriage, and we could all see that. Like, we could all see,
Mhm.
like, she was the one who was ready. Like, she's like, okay, this is how we're parents now. This is what we do, blah blah blah. And Joey wants to be married, have a baby, have a family, but still party. He wants to be single and married, basically.
Mhm.
That's what it is. And I
Yeah.
could be wrong, but I'm like, you just want to be single and married. But I will say this, Yara, I understood why you went to the strip club. I get it. Strip
Mhm.
clubs, I will say this, are a lot of fun. I have gone to a couple, but the Vegas ones are my favorite. And we have a blast. But you have to want to go. And she just didn't want to go from the beginning,
Mhm.
so she was never gonna have fun. And she went for him, and I think she was cool with it until old girl was looking too good and putting her butt cheeks in his face and her face.
And
She
then the
all
kiss.
Yeah, all her insecurities just came out at one time, and she just could not handle it, and she had
Mhm.
to go. She had to go. And he kind of just like, you know what? Okay, she's uncomfortable. Let's finish her drinks and we'll go. And what he should have done is finish their drinks, ask her what she wants to do. Be like, okay, let's go do that. Then you take her back to the hotel, drop her off, then you go back to the strip club.
But he wants to have time with her. That's the thing. Like, I don't understand how a night out at a Russian restaurant, which I think is Tatiana's up on Hallandale, and
Oh,
I
okay.
even think I recognize the strip club that they went to.
I was gonna ask you about that. Do you know where? Debbie, do you know where they be?
I think the restaurant is Tatiana's. It's a big Russian restaurant that does weddings, and they have every year the Russian and Eastern European community gets together and does a big Christmas
Mm,
thing. They buy out all the vodka in South Florida, and they go for like 24 hours straight. Kids, adults, everybody. Um, and actually, that same place was on Four Weddings on
mm,
TLC.
mm.
It's been on there. They bring in
Oh.
acrobats and all like, and this for a
Mm,
normal Saturday night dinner. They go all out. Um, So I think that's where it was because it kind of looked like that with the multi levels. And then the strip club from the brief snippets from outside, I think that's the strip club down on 163rd. And
Oh,
there's two across the street. 163rd in US 1.
oh,
Yeah, it's gone through several name changes
oh,
over the years. But it used to be back in the diggity day, Solid Gold. The girl stripper part is at the front, and then at the back they used to have a small section of male strippers. Ow.
all right, I ain't mad.
But don't ask me what the name of it is now, so I don't know. But yeah, I just don't understand how you went from, like, she was so happy at that dinner, talking dusting off her Russian and talking,
Mhm,
enjoying the food, and then daring her into going to the strip club, trying to make a drink. If she's still breastfeeding, why are you trying to make her drink? I didn't like how Jovi kind of manipulated that situation. So I really didn't feel sorry for him when she wigged out, because you're married to her. You know how she behaves.
yes,
Stop trying to get your old hoey girlfriend back that you screwed all over Europe during your off time. Did you not
exactly.
notice how Yara has developed over the course of your relationship and you haven't? Ugh, gross. I don't know if my husband was planning a really great, night for me, and we don't normally do strip clubs together, I wouldn't expect
Mhm,
that to be part of my really great night for me. The strip club was for Jovi.
completely. And that was to me that was the problem with it. It was solely um for him with no thought of her, and that's where her
Mhm.
frustration comes in.
Mhm.
Like she wants to be at home with the baby. And I think was it Black Lavender who said it. Oh, where's it at?
Mhm.
Grandma, yeah, Granny Yard just wants to stay home with the baby and Joey. That's all she wants. That's all she's here for.
But you see, I think she's here for the baby and Jovi, but
Hmm.
she wants to be a family. She doesn't mind going out with him. I don't think she
Right.
minds that. But take her someplace where she will enjoy, or y'all two can enjoy as a family or
Yes.
as a husband and wife, because it's two different entertainment levels when you have the baby with you as opposed to
Yeah.
not. And he started out great. You cannot say that that girl wasn't happy. It looked
He
like
was
he
having a good
made an
time.
effort in trying to find that place just
Agreed.
for her. And then he ruined it.
Yeah, he did. No lies were told.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else about them? Oh, and I
No.
didn't like the thing where he said, if we continue like this, it's not gonna work. Like throwing that
Right.
out there. I didn't like how that sounded. Um, get it together, guys. Get it together. Gwen,
Quickly.
step in and slam your foot up your son ass.
I appreciated her commentary when she said, "You know what? We were all concerned about Yara and her intentions, but
Mhm.
Jovi seems to be the one that's not ready." I was like, "Oof." And but Gwen knows her son, and she's always been honest, and I've always
Mhm.
appreciate that about her.
Okay, so I agree with this, Trey. He should have never promised that they could leave when she was ready, because he
Right.
knew he didn't want to leave. That was a
Hmm.
false promise. Okay. Okay, Dave, I'm gonna need you and Jamal to recommend a good strip club for when I finally make it to Vegas. Oh, the only one that I ever went to was a gay strip club, and it was so much fun, and the servers had nipple rings that you could um well, anyway, I'll see if I can get that name for you. I'm not sure if it's still around, but it was really good.
Oh yeah, I pretty much honestly anything pretty much on the main strip. I'm not talking at the towards old Vegas. You want to be at the one towards the middle of the strip,
Mm-hmm.
where the action actually is, because you're gonna have a lot of fun. And if you're gonna go strip club hopping, it's much easier.
Mm-hmm.
Just just saying.
Yeah, I think we were either on or like on a side street
On the
just
side
off the
street,
strip because
right?
when we left, I think we were right back on the strip, but we were really intoxicated.
And the drinks are good. I'm just saying.
Yes.
The
And
drinks are better at
flowing,
strip
yes.
clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Much better. It is. That's just
Mm-hmm.
that's just not a lie there. Sorry.
Oh my God. Okay, so Kalani and Asuelu.
We knew it was gonna happen. We knew.
Child.
What were your thoughts on the situation?
I thought Tammy was just poking the bear from the time she got there. I thought it was real inappropriate her asking, "How much this house cost you?" Bitch, you know your brother can't buy a house because he living in low house. Why?
Right.
Why? So are you trying to find out how much low paid for the house? That's not your issue. That's not your problem. And stop trying to make it seem like low gotta completely support your entire family. And why? And then I agreed with Kalani and saying it's Kalini's body. She could do with it whatever she want. If it's okay for Tammy to only have 2 kids, why you want this girl to become broodmare to stupid Asuelu? Sorry, it don't work like that. In modern times, in America, we have something that's called birth control and family planning. It's not our fault that Mama Asuelu was sitting up under a palm tree, letting they daddy dig up in her and irrigating her uterus every 9 months and breeding her so that she had 50 billion children back in the day. Sorry, you should have hit him with a coconut.
Yeah. Talking about like her husband. She just looked at her husband. She's like, "Look at me. I had 9 kids enough." I'm like, "No, ma'am, you're not fine because y'all were poor." And you are hitting your kids up for money, so you're not fine. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
need her to. I'm gonna need her to stop. I'm gonna need her to stop.
Oh, the place I went was more bolo type. It was a gay club. Yeah, it wasn't the Thunder Down Under or the Chippendale crap tray. It was, like I said, it was good. For a straight girl like me, it was good. Because not all of them dudes up in there are gay.
No, they're not.
hmm Okay, so Asuelo should get a job as a bouncer. Oh, yeah, he tackled his sister pretty good.
Mhm.
You know, Tom need a man. Tammy need a man always worried about her brother and his money. Yep,
Yep.
yep. And that she got 9 children, right? So,
The mom does, yeah.
right. So, okay, Tammy and Asuelu are over here. The other 7, where they at? Can't they chip in?
Right, but I think what it is that they're probably in Samoa and they probably broke too. So
But
they are probably
Asuelu had a
thinking,
job.
right, but what they're thinking is like, since they're broke, like the whole family's broke, that Asuelu can send money back. Because the money, I guess
Mm-hmm.
U.S. money goes farther in Samoa, and if he were making a lot of money, then he could basically support the whole family. And I'm gonna commend Asuelu on this. He said, "My concern is that when we send you money, you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
give it to the church and this and that." He's all, because growing up, y'all used to give money to the church, and they were eating good, and all we could eat was rice and taro because you gave them all pretty much all your money.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what, you better speak on that.
But you know what? Was she really giving it to the church or was she playing bingo? Because people be getting deep into the bingo.
They do, but he has to have seen that for him to
Mm-hmm.
make that statement.
Yeah.
And if you know that she didn't deny it, because
Mm.
yeah, 'cause there's no reason why you. I agree with him. Like, why should um we give you money so you can give to them? Because what's gonna his thing is this, and it's very a good, very thought process. Like, if we give you money and you give it to the church, you're just gonna ask us for more money. It'll be a never ending cycle.
Mhm.
So
Oh,
I'm with him
look,
on that.
this is true. Don't they play bingo at some churches? Yup.
Yep.
Yup. Child. So I think I wish there was a way like he could send money to like the local grocery store and just have it there, and she has a credit so that she can go and pick up food and take it home and cook for the family.
Right.
She
To
can't ever
ensure.
like download, if there's a $500 credit at the grocery store, she can't say, "Here's an apple. I want the rest cashed out."
Right. No, I
That's
got
so
you.
bad.
No, I got you, and I understand why. And then like I like the fact they keep asking Tammy like, how come you ain't doing nothing?
But she says, "Don't ask me what I'm doing. We talking about him." But that seems suspicious to me.
Exactly.
It seems like you're trying to get out of your payment now and push it on to him.
Agreed.
If you was ever making a payment in the first place, because Tammy seemed like she real tight with her money.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, you can't tell me she not um how can I put this? That she not holding on to all her coins.
Hmm. And Ryan, I wouldn't even trust a store gift card with this mom, because the mom would just go and take the gift card and give it to the church so that they could, do something with that. I would just, yeah, no actual physical money should be in this woman's hand. Period. And if you're so concerned about like supporting your family back home, the best thing you could do is provide them with like food and nutrients and sustenance and stuff like that. I don't know. This is just a very weird situation to me, because I understand having to send back home once you immigrate. I understand that completely. That's part of my own history here in this country. And I get it. But something about this just comes off as disingenuous.
Right.
Um, okay, so it really kind of escalated real fast, and I think Asuelu was dead wrong for giving that baby blanket during the white elephant.
Oof.
Um, yeah, and bringing up the subject of babies at that time, because it basically kicked off the whole ejection from the house. And the best part was Low coming in after like people getting tackled and hurled out the front door. He's like, "Well, what's going on out
Right.
here? What's happening? What's happening?" And then you see Kalani get up and is like, "I want you out of my house." They already out the front door by the time you said that, so I didn't,
Yeah.
unless they edited that badly.
Right.
No, but it was just weird. But I could commend Asuelo for finally standing up for his wife, even though he started it.
Exactly.
Okay.
It was just weird. Like for him to do that, and bring that up in front. Like I just didn't like that. And
Mm-hmm.
them giving their commentary time like, well, this and that, like she should like. And Kalini did the right thing by stepping in. Then she's like, I'm not gonna let you see him browbeat my sister in her own home. That's not gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yep, I swear you got to get them out. Good job. Throw them out.
Oh my God, that was an unexpected gift from Santa Claus. Okay, so we hit everybody, right?
We hit everybody.
Okay, so me, you, and my ex.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, season 1, episode 6. Expect the unexpected. Who you want to start with first?
Let's do the Watsons.
The
Me, you, my ex.
no. Wait.
I was so excited.
With
Let's.
Freakin' cheap, right?
Yep, that was really good. Me, let's do Kay because
Hey,
I
okay.
liked her so much this episode. I mean, I liked her before. I thought she was kind of
Hmm.
cool, but when she spoke her mind and she was not backing down, and she has Jessica pegged 100%.
Yes.
100%.
Totally agree. Totally agree. Hi, Christoph. You're never late for us.
Nope.
Um, it was the showdown of the showdowns. Like they came back, Kay and Jerry came back from their like one night cabin getaway,
Mm-hmm.
and come back into the mess. I don't like how Jerry, like, he was like, well, where would you prefer to sleep? And she said, in your room. And he's like, okay, well, me and the little girl will go downstairs and play camp. What are you doing, Jerry? What are
Exactly.
you doing? I felt bad for Kay when she called her friend and she was crying because that's
Mm-hmm.
all pent up frustration. But
Yes.
I did like how she held her own against Jessica because she showed the viper that Jessica is. Jessica is manipulative, and she's trying to twist the situation to get so that Jerry cannot have a life, and she is
Right.
mooching off of Jerry.
Most
She is.
definitely. It's
She
not
is.
even it's not even a
Mhm.
question of what she's doing.
Mhm.
And I was so irritated with Jerry. I'm like, this is your time to stand up and say, hey, um, Kay's my girl, and this is what it's going to be. And for him to say, what
Mhm.
annoyed me with Jerry is like, I'm not trying to upset my ex. Excuse me?
Mhm.
What? No, 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 no. That's a problem. And when Kay asked them, like, are y'all still having sex? When's the last time y'all had sex? And then they were both evasive about the question, like, she had y'all pegged perfectly.
Mhm.
And we
Mhm.
called that earlier too. We're like, we think they're sleeping together because
Mhm.
Jessica's acting too territorial.
Yep. Yep. Too territorial for ex-wife. I think I think Jerry did Kay dirty. I think he misrepresented the situation that's going on in his house.
Mm-hmm.
I think he wanted a piece of ass, in addition to the current piece of ass that he got in his house. And Jessica being uber like manipulative when she was saying, "This is why we broke up. He was unfaithful and da da da." Who cares?
Right.
Are y'all really divorced? Are you? I'm beginning to question that. I really
Mm.
am. And you there saying that you taking care of him and his health and that's what you're there for? You causing him more stress.
Exactly. Exactly. And when Kay just she impressed me so much because when she said he'll never be happy as long as you are in his corner, I'm like, if you don't speak, she stole to me. She was the MVP of this whole episode. I'm sorry, she
Mhm.
just was
Mhm.
because she was just so spot on, and she said the truth as it laid, and you could see the look on Jessica's face. I'm like, you're not winning in this situation. You look terrible.
Mhm. And Jerry says he feels caught in the middle. I don't think so.
Middle of
No.
what?
Middle of what?
Middle of what?
You already clearly stated that you are rolling with Jessica and not Kay.
Point blank. Period.
That's how that came across to me. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
you fucking dirty. Especially considering that what y'all had the night before. Seriously? Like when her mom comes to pick her up, I hope her mom is ratchet as hell and gives all of them a thorough tongue lashing
Oh, I want the mom to give Jessica the business.
in multiple languages. That's what I'm hoping for.
That's when you know it's bad. When people start cussing you out in English and then switch over to the motherland, it's like you just need to apologize and keep it moving.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God. But yeah, although what happened to Kate, I was really pissed at, but I was so proud of her for like really showing what Jessica gives
Mm-hmm.
and the role that she's played in their relationship in dividing it. I'm glad she was able to articulate that.
Yes,
Good for her, for somebody
100%.
so young seeing all of that.
Not going for the BS. Like she
Hmm.
just wasn't gonna do it.
She knows
And
her self-worth. She gave him a chance. She gave him an opportunity to make it right, and he didn't. Jessica. Okay. It still feels like a familiar unit with Jessica. Like it's her house and not his. And Kate is a tolerable sight. I think intolerable, Jessica would say.
Yeah.
because she didn't like her she calls her toxic. She calls her loud, like she's a disruptor. She's caustic to that entire household. How is that? I don't even see you interacting with your damn kids, Jessica. I don't see you doing nothing other than intruding in Jerry's love life.
Exactly. 100% agree.
Hmm. Manipulated. Jessica called Kay a manipulator. Yup. Could not believe that. Couldn't. That whole scene where they was downstairs in the playroom and on that couch, and just her body language and her facial expressions, Jessica, you
Yes.
could tell she was cracking. Like Kay was calling her out for what she was doing and the action she was taking. Cannot stand them. Okay, so who next? Caroline or April?
April.
April. I'm so
Okay.
over this.
Okay. I want to point out something. Did it ever come up in the show
Mhm.
that April had, was her name Haley? Is it Haley?
The oldest daughter?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Did that ever come up that she had her at 15?
No, I just knew she wasn't Roy's child.
Okay. I bring it up because they showed Haley age 24, right? I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that she was that old. Okay. But then
She
it said
that old?
April, yes, and this is April age 39. I'm like, hold up.
Wait, what?
Yes, yes.
Damn.
It said April 39. I'm like, okay. And then it said Haley 24. I'm like, what?
Wow. April's a whole on mess.
Yeah, I was in shock. I was like, wow. But
And
that's what I wanted to point out. So I want to know if anyone else saw it or if it came up in the story. I was in
mm-mm.
shock.
I don't know. The only thing I took was it's to me, it seemed like they had to give John a break from this episode to help
Yes,
deal with his insecurities.
I agree.
Oh, and the best friend relationship that she has with Lauren is kind of
I mean, you know what? On the surface, it seems weird, but I think the fact, like, they understand the other's going to be in their lives for a minute,
weird.
and they
Hmm.
had to get past the animosity for the children. So, no one, if you think about, no one's really going to understand their situation better than the other one. So
Yeah.
it kind of makes sense. Like, who else's husband and spouses jump the fence for the other? Like, like, no one else is gonna, like, you're not gonna find too many people who
Hmm.
go through that. So they bonded over their relationship and their situation.
And Roy's reaction was completely different after she went and spoke to him and asked him to come to the wedding or whatever. He sent her a text or a note or something, um, and went back to California. Like he was just done.
Yeah, he was like, I'm not here for it. And I don't understand her problem understanding where he's coming from because you divorced him for the neighbor. He didn't want a divorce, so
Yeah.
you should have expected that reaction. And I understood um her wanting him there because they are such good friends, but you can't really expect him to sit there and wish you well. I'm sorry, you can't.
And like it was an email that Roy sent her, and she said that he said that she ruined him for other women. You giving her too much power because like she
Yeah.
can't even do her lip injections right. Oof. I cannot. But I can't help but think that Lauren is there watching all of this,
Laughing.
laughing and hoping that this blows up in her face, much like her marriage blew up in hers.
And in April, here's the thing, and I'm going to put this the best way I can, but neither way is
Mhm.
going to come a little bit rude because of the situation.
Mhm.
I don't understand how April is so delusional in a way to not
Mhm.
understand that Lauren is always going to have some sort of resentment for her.
Mhm. 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 Yep. Oh my
You know.
God. Well, Caroline and Alex and Steven?
Oh, Ryan asked, was her dad? Yeah. Um, if I recall the situation, her first husband's name was Brett, and she said
Mhm.
that marriage was pitiful.
Oh
So
Jesus.
Haley is by the first husband.
We hope. Okay. Um, Caroline?
Yes. Okay, so Caroline, I don't understand this. The reason why I say that is because why weren't these boundaries in place from the beginning?
Do you think maybe she thought that it would taper off?
Maybe, but after the 6 month mark, you should have stepped in. You guys are 2 years, 2.5 years in at this point.
Mhm.
So this should have been nipped in the bud a long time ago. Because
Agreed.
I feel like Alex keeping talking to Steven to as much as he is, plus how much his family loves Steven, is really disrespectful to her. And I
Mhm.
honestly really feel that she is merely a placeholder for Steven. I'm sorry. I feel that Alex is going to string her along until Steven is ready. That's the way it comes across. Or he's looking at Caroline like, hey, like she's a great girl, like she really loves me, and why not? So to me, Caroline is being treated as a consolation prize as well, which is completely unfair. But she put herself in the situation because she never asserted herself as his partner. She never really carved out her role because Steven was always there. Like it's
Mhm.
always been Steven, 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 never about Caroline. And it's not about insecurity or jealousy, it's about setting boundaries within the relationship.
Mhm.
Because there's nothing wrong with you being friendly with your ex. There's no problem. But when you guys are calling every day, talking every day, that is not a good thing. To me, that means you both have not let go on some level. And if
Mhm.
that is the case, she needs to see herself out before she gets hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I don't know why he's going ahead thinking that he's going to propose to her. I just don't. I don't know why she's continuing in this relationship with Alex if Steven is such a huge presence in their relationship. This doesn't make any sense to me. Unless Alex is proposing to Caroline to jumpstart Steven to get back together with him. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. I
It's just
I
weird.
feel bad. I feel bad for her, but then I don't, because like Tiffany, she put herself in this position.
Hmm.
Like there's no way
Tiffany,
that. Go ahead.
Caroline. Wait, no,
No,
you
I'm
said
saying
Tiffany?
I said like Tiffany, Caroline put herself in a bad
Oh.
situation,
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
knowingly.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so that's it for that show?
Hmm. Good show.
Okay,
It was good. It was really good.
it was. It was So Freaking Cheap, season 1, episode 6, smells like cheap spirit. You said you wanted to do the Watsons first?
Yes, I'm gonna give them some. I'm gonna give Baby Girl some credit on this one. It came out looking kind of nice.
Mhm.
I wasn't mad at them. The
Mhm.
tumbleweeds were the highlight, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
Those were some cool decorations that they did. The purple with the lights, great job.
Mhm.
You know, I like the fact like the mom acknowledged the ring, but didn't make a big deal out of the ring. I thought that was
Mhm.
really good. The kids needed that for it to be their wedding.
Mhm.
Everyone seemed to be having a great time. There was no real issues. You know, the vows were funny. She was a good officiant. Overall, for as cheap as she was, she did a good job. it came together, and as long as your guests are happy, the bride and groom are happy, I'm here for it.
You got more faith than I do. I mean, yeah, the with good camera angles, yes, it came out really nice,
Hmm.
but it was still next to a dumpster in a
Yeah.
chiropractor's office with
Hmm.
half the guests standing outside looking through the main window glass.
That was so wrong.
Sorry.
That was
That
so wrong.
that was just weird. And then you had a choice of cucumber or cucumber. And she was spreading that tuna fish so
So thin.
thin.
Oh my goodness.
Um, yeah, and the mariachi band off key, using the medical table paper as the owl runner. I, okay, okay, whatever.
It
And
came
then
out looking good.
repurposing the penis cake from the bachelorette
Okay,
party,
that got me. That got me.
and his parents over there taking pictures of it. I was just like, oh my God.
But
I don't
overall, it looked
know.
good. Oh, I just said it looked good. Over,
The
like when you
toilet
take the
paper
picture.
flowers were cute. I
Yes.
will get, but I nearly gagged when they said they don't use toilet paper. I was like, oh, what do you use then? Let me hear. Cottonelle wipes? No. A butt rag and bleach. Say what
Right. No.
now?
Mm-mm.
Okay. And then all the zipper on the dress, Ashley dress busted open.
Yeah.
And all of the girl tatas was out in the front in the middle. Oh my God. The questionable mayonnaise, yes, Trey. You can buy a bottle of mayonnaise.
Right. It went on sale. That's why.
And then she said she came in $2 under budget. I just couldn't. I just couldn't. I just couldn't. Sorry. Mazel tov to all of y'all.
Yes.
What's her name? Brittany and Shane. Good
Yeah.
luck to you. Find
Brittany
your own
looked
place.
great. Brittany looked great in her dress, though.
No, she didn't. No, she didn't.
She did.
No. I'm happy for him. Good luck to
Oh,
y'all.
okay. Let me back up. Her boobacles looked great. Okay, there we go.
Okay, there you go.
That's sorry. That's just the way it looked to me. They looked fantastic. So good job to
Good
the seamstress.
Lord.
I'm just
The
saying.
the Giles or the Claytons?
Let's do the Giles.
The Giles. Okay, so she's the one who had to spin on the room. Okay, so she debuted the room. It looked okay.
Yeah.
I liked it. She did a good job, and I appreciated that she spent at least $500.
Yeah, she said 566.75. I'm like, you know what? We gonna give this to you because we know it was a struggle for you. It wouldn't have been
Mhm.
a struggle. It wouldn't have been a struggle for me, but it was a struggle
Mhm.
for you.
Yeah. Um good luck to Jay and hoping that that this will change her, because it won't.
Yes, it won't. Mm-mm.
It won't. Um then what else happened with her? I think that was it, right?
And that was it. That was it. It was like the room reveal, and everyone was happy. I think with her, where I struggled is I want to know what in her life made her this way. I don't think that was ever explained where this frugality came from.
Right.
Because most women, people who, if they come from little means, yeah, they're good with their money, but when someone's like, oh, here's $1,000, and they're like happy, they're like, oh my goodness, I actually get to spend this much. She was like, okay, can we go outside and get something from the trash and say we paid for it? I was like,
Mhm.
oh.
Mhm.
So I'm just curious, like, what happened in her life to make her this way?
Right. And then we have the Claytons.
Yes. He
So
did. Go ahead.
they're doing their journaling, and it's their anniversary. Yeah.
Hmm.
He was so proud of himself for getting fresh fruit. My God.
He was. He was so proud. He was like, and he mixed in his frugality. The syrup, he had me dying pouring that syrup in that bottle. He had me
Mm.
cracking up.
Mm-hmm. And he got her a car with her money, and she was so happy.
Right. I was like, we're gonna let this ride for them. I
Yeah.
mean, she's happy that he bought her a car, like you said, with her money. Okay.
And
That's
got
like,
her a full-size vacuum to put in the trunk. Doesn't he know that they're Carvacs?
mhm,
I I don't understand that at all. But at least she
mm,
could get to work on her own now.
mhm. And the fact that it was hilarious when he was at the dealership. Like, well, the more popular cars are like black and gold. Like, this is electric blue. So can I get like $400 or $500 off of that? I'm like, okay.
The look on that man's face was priceless.
He had the car salesman's face had me dying.
Oh my God.
He was like, "What? What are you talking about?"
But at least he spent some money. I mean, it's a big improvement.
Right.
Do
But
you
he was
think he took
still.
all coins in there though to pay for that car?
I think that if he did that, they'd kick him out. Just saying. Just
Mm-mm.
saying. With him, it's like when you give someone a gift, I really feel you should just be happy that you gave them the gift.
Mhm,
You shouldn't be worried about the money you spent on it.
mhm.
And so for me, that took away from the scene for me.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that was it. There was just those three couples, and it was the finale show. So that
What
was a nice quick season.
it was, but like, what about the trans?
We don't
That was
care, and I'm glad they must have heard my thoughts on them.
I don't care. Okay, okay. I know you don't like the trans, so we're gonna leave that there.
Hmm. And so that was it. That was TLC Tuesday, 90 Day Fiance, Me, You, My Ex, and So Freaking Cheap. This is a good
Yes,
show. They like all three shows were pretty decent this week.
yes, they were. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, had TLC left out a couple of couples on 90 Day, like they had just taken out Brendan and Julia
Mm-hmm.
and Angela and Michael, that would have been a home run episode.
Mm, yeah, yeah.
And then me, you and my ex, that was a good episode.
Mm-hmm.
And then so freaking cheap. It was a nice little tidy season.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, guys, let us know your thoughts. Leave your comments below. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. I'm doing that right now. We appreciate you joining us today. Tomorrow, we're doing Love After Lockup. So, everybody come prepared to be incarcerated. Um, Tell a friend, share this video, like this video. Thanks to the replay crew if you made it this far. And so, any final thoughts, Jamal?
No, we're good. Can't wait for tomorrow because Love After Lockup is just that gift that just keeps on giving to us.
Yep, yep. So, until next time.
Of course.
Bye.
Bye.